Hello, everybody. I'm coming to you today from. I'm still in Arizona. I don't know where I'm at exactly, but today's topic is being a black man in the Philippines. Um, I just thought of this topic and decided I'd talk about it and thought about some questions that people may have that are people of color, that black people specifically, that are thinking about taking a trip into the Philippines. Because I know a lot of questions that I get whenever I tell people how much I travel is, um, you know, questions about racism, or the racism that you might come across or things like that, of that nature, whenever you're traveling into these other countries. So we're going to start with police. Do I have trouble, or have I had trouble with police in the Philippine Islands? No, not at all. Not once. Um, it's not like being here in the U.S., I guess. No one pretends like I make them feel afraid, or I'm a threat, or I look like I'm a threat. They're very helpful, very kind. The security guards that are outside the malls are very helpful, and the barangays that are in the small towns that you go into, you'll learn about them. They're like the local town police. They're very helpful. Also, I've been stopped by police before, and I immediately got an attitude. And I thought, like, what did I do now? And they just stopped me to let me know that, welcome to the country, and that if I need anything, to find somebody in that kind of uniform that they were wearing, and I could get help with anything. They even gave me a card to call if I needed help with anything. So, yeah, it's completely different. It's like, protect and serve. So that has been my experience with the police officers in the Philippine Islands. Um, Another one. Do Filipino women like black men? This is a question that I see come across the board all the time whenever I'm telling people about the country and talking to them and things like that. This is what I'll say about that. Every person has their preference. Whether their preference be white, black, Asian, European, Australian, for whatever reason that a person has their preference. Every person has their preference. I would say that the majority of Filipino women prefer Filipino men. And then there are women, and people like to say that, oh, well, Filipino women like white expats. Yeah, they do. They like white expats. They like Filipino expats. They like Korean expats. They like black expats also. They, the same way people have a variety of preferences here in the U.S., or in Canada, or in Australia, or England, or wherever you're from, they also have a variety of, preferences here. These are women. They're people. They're not, some mystical beings from some other land. They all have their preference. And there are those who like black men the same way there are those who like white men, and there are those who like Asian men and prefer Koreans, and, so on and so forth. So yes, would be the answer that you're looking for, I guess. Another one is, do I experience any racism? Like going to restaurants or hanging out with people or things like that. I wouldn't say that I experience any racism, and that I've ever experienced any racism in the country at all. The people are just welcoming and loving. nobody ever denies me service anywhere or anything because of the color of my skin. I don't think anybody's actually ever denied me service anywhere for any reason. The only thing that I will say is there's this thing called the skin tax when you go to the markets. And now it's not what you think. It's not like, oh, you're different, you got dark skin, so it's no. It's like an expat tax. If they see that you're a foreigner, you're from somewhere else, they will overcharge you or charge you a little more than they would charge the locals, because their expectations of foreigners are that, you know, the only thing that they, you know, the misconception it's the word I'm looking for, that they have about foreigners are that we're rich. You know, we come over there from our rich country where everybody's rich, we're all rich, so we got it. They could charge us more because we got it, we're rich. And that's not true. And one of the reasons of that is because television. Another reason of that is because the people that go to the Philippines for a short time and, you know, tell the women that they're rich and, you know, blow all kinds of money and, you know, show the women that there's something that they're not, really hurts our image. So everyone else who comes over there just on a fixed income or, you know, retirement or anything like that, you know, a small income that they set up for themselves so that they can live, people still think you're rich because the only thing that they know is that foreigners are rich. You got the money, you got the moolah, and you can spend it, and you like to blow it, and, you know, you can do all this traveling, and, you know, all of us aren't. We all can't live that kind of life. But that is a real thing. So if you ever hear anybody talk about the skin tax, it means that the fact that the locals charge us a little more because of us being foreigners, and they believe that we have more money and we can afford to pay more. And it doesn't happen at like supermarkets or malls or anything like that. Just that maybe your ukay and your local market where you probably go to usually get your meats and your vegetables and your foods and things like that. One sec.